Hey guys, it's 5:15 here in Singapore and it's really hot. I decided to keep a vlog of my journey because first of all it was easier than just having to figure out how to make a website and do a blog, and I didn't want to annoy people on their Facebook newsfeed with all the things that I was doing. And also I find it quite uncomfortable talking to a camera, and I thought it'd be like a good challenge for me to try and get better at it. Anyway, so I get asked this question a lot whenever I tell people that I'm going to India. Why India? And there's a lot of there's a lot of jokes about eat, pray, love and but for me, I think after uni I got my first proper job as an accountant, and I could just see my life flash before my eyes. You know, I could see me having to work the 9 to 5 and have a mortgage and have kids, and none of that really appealed to me. Yeah, it was quite disconcerting actually. And so the day when I found out I got the job, I kind of went into my room and then I had a big cry. I was like, no, is this what life is all about? Not saying that where I worked was bad. In fact, the people there were awesome, and I did love it. I did love it. But the thing was that it wasn't what I wanted. And so I wanted to be away for a while. And I considered just to go out and just to explore other ways of life, and to see if this was really it. And if it was, then at least I knew, you know. And then I could handle it, and I'd come back and I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is the best thing for me. But I just really wanted that time to think. And somehow I heard about this place called McLeod Ganj, which is in Dharamsala, and it's on the opposite side of the Himalayas from Tibet. And this is where the Tibetan refugees went after they fled from the Chinese government. I have no comment on the political aspect of that because I don't know the history behind it, but just something about it, being away from people who escaped, and for me who was trying to escape, and just to go to this place really appealed to me. Anyway, at the time I was with my girlfriend, and when I told her I wanted to do this sort of thing, she was just like, I wanted to be there for a few months, you know, and just go away. She was just really angry at me, and you know, like, you don't even deserve to have a girlfriend, and like, you're not responsible. And yeah, like, I kind of agree, I guess, but I felt like I really needed that. Anyways, at the time I was really in love, and I agreed not to go, you know, and so I started the daily grind. Eventually we opened up a juice bar as a compromise, and I quit my job as accountant to become a juicer. And that was really different, but it was also like a really fulfilling time in my life, because I felt like I learnt a lot of things, and I just got to experience so many emotions like happiness, sadness, and all these things. I felt like I was alive, and I'd have to say in a way I was quite happy at that point in time. And then compromise is good, I think, especially if you compromise out of love. I think it's a worthwhile endeavour. And anyway, the aspect of a healthy relationship is some sort of compromise, because you can't have it all your way, you know. That's not what makes a relationship exciting. But it wasn't the most profitable endeavour. And though I was having all these like life experiences and all these cool things happen, there was discontent because it wasn't making that much money, and I could probably make more money being an accountant. And that's the thing, when the compromising stops and everything starts being demands, it's when you kind of know that like there's no mutual respect for each other or whatever it is, or you just and then you know that it's time to just break up, because you want very different things in life. And yeah, so we broke up. I continued to work in the juice bar for a little bit longer, but things broke, and it was kind of like our bastard child, I'd guess. You know, like you'd see things and you'd like think of all these memories and you're trapped in this shop and it's like, oh, these memories, and you're like, ah. And my landlord was a dick. Like seriously, you know, you might go to a job and you might hate your boss and you hate working for the man, but actually when you own a business, you're still working for the man. The man's just a landlord, and instead of having a 1-month notice, you have your like 3-year lease or however long it is. And there's still the tax man. There's all these men that, you know, I don't think anyone can really ever escape from working for the man, because it's like a giant food chain. It just keeps going round and round. Yeah, so I sold up. And then for a while I was working with one of my customers in recruitment, and he was a really crazy recruitment guy. Like, he saw Jesus in these paintings that he wanted to buy, and he sat me down at his house for 6 hours talking about that shit. And he was convinced that there were aliens in his family photograph, and he kept trying to point to me where the aliens were and stuff like that, and it was kind of just like a blurry tree or whatever, and it almost looked like an alien if you had strong imagination powers, you know. And I felt like, god damn. For all those job seekers that I interviewed at that time, I'm really sorry. I had no idea what I was doing. So, and then somehow I ended up back at my old accounting job. I guess it was the easiest thing, which isn't a good reason to do anything. And it's kind of surreal, you know, like having gone through all these life experiences and having moments that really truly made you feel alive and all these things, and then you come back to the same point you were at the beginning, and then people try and you can't express how you felt during that period. It was not in a casual conversation anyway. It was just like, yeah, the juice bar was good, you know, like, but it couldn't encapsulate everything that I felt, and it felt like I came back to the beginning. So now I'm single, and like I can do whatever I want. I don't have to compromise with anybody, and I think now is the best time that I can actually go and do these things that I want. And I learned from my little brother that it's good to set goals. So I've set a few for myself. First off, I want to be able to be conversational in Hindi by the time I finished. And I want to get amongst that Tibetan folk singing, you know, the thing, see what it's all about. And then maybe go up around that Ladakh Kashmir region, which is kind of up north, and find myself like a nice cashmere coat. But having said that, having said all the things that I wanted to do, I think it's also important to just be open to serendipity. And there's a quote from this book called Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse that I really like. Hang on, let me find it. Where the fuck is my quotes? Okay. Yeah, it goes like this. When someone is searching, said Siddhartha, then it might easily happen that the only thing his eyes still see is that which he searches for. That he is unable to find anything, to let anything enter his mind, because he always thinks of nothing but the object of his search, because he has a goal, because he is obsessed by the goal. Searching means having a goal, but finding means being free, being open, having no goal. Anyway, if that makes sense to you, that's why I'm keeping my schedule kind of open and seeing what's out there. You can kind of see why I had to put this all in a vlog. Like, it's kind of hard to talk to people about this all the time. If they ask me why India, to encapsulate all these ideas that I've just expressed here, when I can just be like, oh, go check on YouTube, you know? Because most of the time, people who ask aren't really that keen to know the full details. And then you do an injustice by not actually explaining it properly. And then the second reason is that if you have to explain it properly all the time, it's quite emotionally taxing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.